Hey everyone, it is Susie and I am back with the alphabet challenge. I hope that everybody is doing well. Today the letters are going to be H and R. Those are my letters and I have chose holiday and recipe cards. That's kind of what I'm going to do this time. So I have some recipe cards here that I actually picked up. These are the Chip and Joanna Gaines recipe cards. I have some in the shop as well, but I'm just going to use one of these. But anyway, they have some really pretty nice recipe cards. I have an old recipe card I'm going to use that I bought at a thrift store somewhere. And then I'm going to, for my holiday, I am going to do Christmas. Christmas is my favorite holiday. And this is the brand new issue of the Somerset Studio. And I actually got this inspiration for this project from this Art Girl Notebooks by Lynn Moncrief. So anyway, that is where the inspiration came from for the little notebooks that I'm going to be making. Alright, so let's get started. I'm just going to do something really easy here. Now, this recipe card, if you were just wanting to dress up your recipe cards to put in your little recipe box, I just thought it would be fun. And these little images here I have printed off on onion skin paper. And they almost look like, when you glue them on something, they almost look like you decoupaged. So that's why I chose to use that. And I need to be sure and watch my time, so I've got that looked at. But this is just something very, very simple that I just thought would be kind of fun if you just, like I said, just wanted to dress up your recipe cards for some reason. What I'm trying to do is just kind of center that. Especially if you were making, like for this particular one, if you were just making like a salads, you know, making different salads or something. This is just so cute. Just to dress up the recipe card. And then I thought it would be fun to put, and these are actually vintage images, is what they are. Now this here I did get a download for, but I actually have these images on some Jello booklets. I just haven't scanned them, but I have these identical little little images. But I will. I don't remember who I purchased them from. I would have to just put it in the description box. Okay, and so it just kind of dresses up the recipe cards is what it does, I think. It just gives it a little something, you know, just a little something extra. And then, of course, you still have plenty of room to write your ingredients. And then, you know, the directions. So anyway, just a cute little way to dress up a recipe card, I thought. Okay, so there is one, and that is my quickest one. And then I thought it would be fun to use a little collage. This is just a little, these are some new little bags I have in the shop. And they are a food grade. Sandwich bag is what they are. And I have them in the shop. They're a nice little size. They'd be great for your little pockets on the inside, a bag for your pockets. They're 6 1/4 by, and I'm going to the tallest one, an 8 or 7 1/4, depending on which you want to grab. And they have a gusset. I'm thinking about a 3/4. They're about an inch gusseted there, so they would call it a 2-inch gusset, 2 1/8. But anyway, a little gusset, they'd make a great thing for in your little journal. So, but anyway, what I wanted to use this for is Now this is just, I thought would be fun to have a recipe little journal, and it would fit nice in this bag, and then decorate the front with some fun elements and that old recipe card. So I'm going to grab this. I've got this old looking grungy paper that I have got as a scrap here. I've been making a lot of that little crinkly paper since Sagita has shown us how to do that. You see it quite often in the journals now. I just love it. It's just so vintage looking that I just love it. Okay, so I'm going to add that just kind of there. And then I'm going to, let's see, I think I wanted this kind of here. And this is somebody's recipe. Like I said, I picked these up at a antique shop actually several months ago. And there was a whole box of them, and the whole thing is just about muffins, different kind of muffins. So, going to put that about right there. That'll fill in where some of that is gone as well. And I want to lay this out a little bit. I did get this old book page. And I hope I can do this all in 30 minutes. So, my other project will be the longest one, the holiday. The holiday project will probably be my most time-consuming one. And I wanted that to just kind of stick up like so. I'm going to have a little piece of lace that I thought would be fun to kind of put right in there somewhere. This is some of that artist paper from out of the new magazine there. It had a little collage sheet with these on there, so I wanted to use that. I never use the artist paper ever in magazines, but that one there had those little images, and I thought, how fun. And then I'm going to add that, and I think I'm going to add a little bit of something there. And I would like a little bit of something there, but I didn't make anything for that. Not sure what I'd put there just right off. I don't have anything prepared to put there, but I'll probably add another piece of like this. I'll probably just add a little piece of something like that. Well, matter of fact, I'll just put that there, and then I would have put a piece here. So anyway, so that is my going to be my collage here. I'm going to start sticking a little bit of it down. This is an old Emery's ice cream. I found that at an antique shop as well. Just get some of it stuck down. And then let's get this lace stuck down a little bit. My glue's not coming out very good right now. It does that periodically. There we go. So we're just going to get that glue a little stuck in there. Okay. Just enough to say it's caught. Okay. So then we'll start getting our stuff glued down. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and get her stuck down. This was a really cute collage sheet they had in there. Now the magazine itself had a lot of mixed media in it this time. Not so many projects that I would do, but I always love those. Love those magazines. Love, love, love them. Okay. This one says Meemaw Brian. For the woman there. Okay. So there is that. All right, and then I'm going to add this, and I will add another one there. I don't have one. I don't think I have any sewed up, but maybe I do. Let me look in my little, I have a little scrap thing here. I might have one of those sewed in there. If not, I've got a little piece of lace maybe I can put there. Let's see if we can't just add a little piece of lace. Oh, that looks kind of fun there. Maybe that's what I'll use. This is a really fine vintage lace. I love this. Yeah, that's what I'll put there. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm just going to add a couple of vintage buttons here. Yeah, I think that looks good right there. So I can add a couple of vintage buttons. And I like that. Okay, so I'm about 10 minutes in now, and I need to get to working on the other project. So, oops, my sleeve keeps moving my. Okay, so I'm really liking the vintage buttons. I just give it a little extra oomph. Okay, so I thought that was fun, and then the journal can actually go on the inside of that, and we could just have a little recipe journal, which would be fun. That's something I don't do very often, is make a recipe. I think the last time I made a recipe journal, it was, my CPA is a very good friend. I've went to her for years and years and years and years. And the last recipe one I made for her a few years ago when I went in to get my taxes done. Okay, so anyway, there is using my recipe card. And then, like I said, you could do a recipe journal and just put it on the inside, and that would just be absolutely adorable gift for somebody. Tie a little ribbon around it. That would be absolutely fun. You know, if you had a little ribbon you could tie, that would be fun. Okay, so there is that. All right, so for the next one is the holiday. And I've only got about 20, not even 20 minutes, so about 18 minutes. So I'm hoping I can get this done. All right, so this here I wanted to try to keep my stuff together. So my holiday is Christmas, favorite holiday. And I just have some pieces. And like I said, this was based off of the Somerset Studio project. And so what I've got is I've got this piece of pretty cardstock here. The measurements for this are 4 1/8 by 6 3/4. On this 6 3/4 side, I scored it at 1/8. No, I'm sorry, 5 1/2. I came up to 5 1/2 and scored it. I moved it 1/8 over, which made it 5 5/8, and scored it again, so that it just had a little 1/8 inch gusset up here. That's all I wanted. So I just thought I'd give you those measurements, is what I would do. And then I'm going to punch holes in it, but I'm going to do that last. Okay, then I cut another piece, and it is 4 1/8 going across for your width, and 5 1/8 tall. And that is actually the front of the book right there. So what I want to do is, I have stitched around this. I wanted a little bit of stitching to go around it. I'm going to glue this just right under where I'm going to punch those holes, is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And I'm going to want a really good glue for that. So I'm going to do a little thickness on the glue there. Okay. And then to stick that down, and I kind of want it to make sure I'm even on both sides there. And what I'll do is it should be the same length. Oh, it's a little longer. Okay, I'm going to have to go up more. I'm going to have to actually get up in my holes because, and I may have decided to do that after I looked at it too, because my first impression was to do it just right under the holes, but now I may have decided to change that and forgot. So, but it is going to cover my holes. But what I want it to be is I want it to be the same length as the front, you know, when you kind of hold your gusset up. Okay, I'm going to add a little extra glue here where I have taken that apart. I need to add a little extra glue. Okay, I'm going to try to move along quickly here. I'm down to about 15 minutes. Okay, so there is that. And then my papers are, I have cut each individual paper is 4 by 5 3/4. So a 4 on the width and a 5 3/4 long. I used 4 sheets of 8.5 by 11 paper, and I did actually kind of stitch that a little bit just to hold it. Now you could get it to hold some other way, but that's kind of how I went. And what that does is that is actually going to set in there like so, and I'm going to want to make sure that I'm centered of that. I'm going to push it all the way up to my, fold that over, okay, and then I want to kind of get something to hold it. And you will need a crocodile or one of the big bite to punch your holes. So I've got my holes marked where I want them. So it's 3/8 up from your edge of your flap here and 3/4 of an inch going in. Okay, and I'm just going to punch that, and I'm going to use my smaller hole here to punch where I've marked. But you've got to have a crocodile to go through that thickness. I don't know if you've got very much paper in there, you're going to have to use the crocodile to. Okay, I've had this crocodile forever. Okay, and then this one here was a little harder to see my hole, because it went right in that, it went right kind of in that little black bud there, and so it made it hard to see. Okay, so then I'm going to string I just used some white linen. I didn't use ribbon or nothing, and I'll probably have to find something to kind of poke it through with. Let's see what I did. Yeah. Let's see if I can just poke it through. This is usually what I use to get stuff to come through for me. Is this little paper piercer right here. Okay, and then I'm going to bring it over here from the back and just do the same thing. Just kind of get that pushed in there where I can. Okay, I think I got it that time. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. All right. So what I'm going to do, and I don't know that I have enough to tie a bow. I think I'm going to have to just go in a knot. I might. Let me see here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a knot. There's just not enough there to tie a bow. But I want it to be a tight knot, I think. I don't want it to be a loose knot. So I'm going to pull that really tight. Let's see if there we go. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of make that and then what I will do is end up trying to fray that. Okay. All right, so there we go. And then what we have is we have our little memo book here. This will make a great gift for Christmas time. Okay, so we have that. Then I wanted to add this little bit of, and I'm not even sure what this collection is. I did something with it last year, last Christmas, but I don't remember the name of the collection either. I had a little piece of cheesecloth that I thought I might use. Uh-oh, I've only got like 10 minutes, guys, so I'm really going to have to push this. And I'm not even sure I want to use that. I just cut it in case I might want to string a little of that behind. Oh, I don't know though. It looks kind of cute back there. Yeah, maybe I will. Okay, so I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac to kind of try to get that held down. Just get me a good amount of glue there just to kind of hold that down. I don't want it to be perfect because I like them to be a little messy. You know, I don't want them to be just perfect, like you just made everything straight, and I like them to have just a little bit of mess to them. Okay, oh, and I forgot to get a bulb pin, but I didn't get all my pieces I needed. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of make that a little messy there. All right, so I think that stuck well enough. And you could always put something on the back. Now, I'm not going to, but you could always put your little handmade sticker or something there, would be cute. Okay, so there is our little book. And then I think I've got that a little too wide. I just used a little bit of, I wanted to use a little bit of, instead of just plain tissue paper, I thought it would be fun to use a little bit of vintage pattern tissue paper. Okay, and there we go. And I'm not worried about it being a little jaggy or anything. And she just looked like she kind of wrapped it. And I think I'm going to have to start it back a little bit over here so that I can actually get it to just end up, yeah, there we go. And I am just going to use a little tad of glue to hold that. All right. And then I'm going to use my little bit of fabric, and I'm going to go a little thinner on the fabric. I'm not going to go that wide. Okay. And I'm just, what I wanted to do, and I should have had a bulb pin, is what I should have had right here, is I would have grabbed a little bulb pin, and I don't know that I even have one. I may have to grab one, just shut the camera off and grab it. Okay, so what I grabbed was a little trinket pin instead. Okay. And we'll just get that little trinket pin. There we go. Okay, so there's my little trinket pin, which I do like. Okay, I've just got a few minutes left. And then this here will kind of hang off of that, or I could hang it off of here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this thin twine there, and I'm actually going to, I wanted this down here, but there's no way that it can hang that low. I don't want it to hang that low, so I'm going to have to go up here. And I've got that little thin twine. And let's see, I actually should have put it through there, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to. But anyway, I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to wrap it around that bow a little bit. Like, well, I guess what I could do, yeah, let's do this, to just make it hang on a little bit, or I'll just put a little knot there. Okay, then what I want to do is I'm going to take the two little ends and shoot it through there. And then I'm just going to put a little knot in it. I want that tag to just kind of drape down from the little bow there. So anyway there, guys, you could always write on the back. You could make this shorter if you wanted to. Just you know, just don't put an extra knot in it until you know exactly where you kind of want that at, and you can move it up and down. So anyway, there's just a nice little handmade gift for somebody. That would just be super fun. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the projects, and I will catch you in the next challenge. And the next challenge will be the letters I and Q. So that might be a challenge for sure. So anyway, guys, catch you in the next video.